Okay, Unit 4 reassessment review. Write a function rule for the table. When we write function rules, it helps if you draw a line graph, but instead of equals y, we're going to put equals w, since that's the variable, that's where the y usually is at. Now the w starts at 9, that's pretty obvious, so 9 plus, and then we don't know what we're adding every time, so I write time, but I do write times m. Okay, now find out what you're adding by. It's real simple. Start at your 4.5 and subtract 6. Negative 1.5, then just jump over here. 3 minus 2 is 1, so then we'll take negative 1.5 divided by 1. Okay, then I'll just keep going up the table. Then I'll take 6 minus 7.5, it's negative 1.5. 2 minus 1 is 1, so it's negative 1.5 over 1. And then 7.5 minus 9 is negative 1.5, and that's also 1. So it's a linear function, and the rate of change, and then you just divide those, okay? Negative 1.5 divided by 1 is negative 1.5, okay? So that's your rate of change, or your slope, whatever you want to call it, and there's your equation. So we have 9 at the beginning, and we're adding negative 1.5 times m equals w. There's your function, okay? I know that's not the way I did it earlier this year, but I think that's a better way, okay? Okay, tell whether the function's linear or non-linear. If you can see it right away, just write it, okay? But here's how you figure it out. Kind of the same way you're doing here, you just don't have to write out the function, okay? So 11 minus 14, negative 3. 4 minus 3 is 1, okay? 14 minus 7 is negative 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Negative 3, 1. So negative 3 divided by 1 is always going to be negative 3, so that's linear. Okay, then right here, got to do a little bit of thinking here. 6 minus negative 5, I'm just going to write that out. That's not quite so obvious, okay? Usually when I subtract a negative, I usually put parentheses. Now that's really plus, and that's 11, okay? So 11. 4 minus 3 is 1. Negative 5 minus negative 4. That's negative 1, okay? Or excuse me, yeah, that's going to be negative 1. Well, right away, and that's 1. So that's non-linear, okay? You know that right away. You don't even need to do anything more to see that that's non-linear. Okay, a domain range story problem. And I'm going to change one little explanation here in the problem. When buying gas, customers pay $3.12 per gallon of gas. I have $40. Identify the domain and range of the situation. Tell whether the function is continuous or discrete. So we're going to make a table here, okay, with X and Y. Now dollars and gallons are the two units we're tracking. Now remember, there's no time unit for X, but X cannot be dollars. Y would have to be dollars, and then X would be gallons. Okay, so usually when figuring out the domain and range, I go 0, 1, 2, 3. That's just how I like to do it. Now, I'm going to change one little bitty thing. You can answer right now if it's continuous or discrete, okay? Just go out to the side and put a 2.5. Can you buy 2.5 gallons of gas? 2.5 gallons? Yeah, you can. So that is continuous. So decimals will work in the X. It's continuous. Alright, now let's find out what goes over here. So if I buy 0 gallons of gas, that's going to cost $0. If I buy 1 gallon, 1 times $3.12, and you want to put times 3.12, is $3.12. Now if I buy 2, I'd multiply 2 by 3.12, and that's going to be $6.24. 3 times 3.12, that's going to be $9.36, okay? Now there's a limit. The limit's 40, but it's $40, so don't put it here, okay? So I'm going to figure out what question mark times 3.12 is 40. Well, we're going to do the opposite of times, which is divide. So I divide 40 by 3.12. Okay. Now, when you punch it in, you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it does. You can have decimals. We've already said that. But that looks like a crap decimal. So hit second PRB equals, and it'll just make it a fraction. So 12 and 32/39. And there you go. Okay, now some of you are like, I know when we did these before, we didn't put a decimal there. Yeah, if it's a discrete graph, I wouldn't be able to. I'd have to just put 12, okay, and then go re-multiply 12 by $3.12. But if I know it's continuous, which I did right away, we can have decimals and fractions, okay? So the domain is 0 to 12 and 32/39. And then the range is 0 to 40. Because you can pump 12 gallons and then 32/39 is really exact, but it'll work. Okay. Okay, so right away, you notice the only different thing I did is I answered the continuous discrete question before I really filled out the table, which you're able to do. Okay, because you'll see right away that decimals are okay for gallons, so that's fine. So then when I divide, I'm okay with decimals, just not those decimals that just go on forever. You need a second PRB equal that, okay? So that's one to watch out for, okay? Graph the function y equals negative 3x plus 7. You can do it one of two ways. You don't have to do it both ways. Pick one of them. Well, the quick way is to make sure y is by itself and label m and b. So slope would be negative 3 over 1, and then the y-intercept would be plus 7. Now the other way you can do it is with the table, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, that takes a little bit longer. They're both not hard, but so negative 3 times x plus 7, that's what y equals. That's why I just repeatedly put that under. I would guess most you're going to do this, but so take your x out, put 2 in, okay? Take your x out, put 1 in, take your x out, put 0 in, take the x out, put negative 1 in, take the x out, put negative 2 in. Okay, so negative 3 times 2 plus 7, that's going to be 1, okay? Remember, this is the x and this is the y. So I go to 2 on x, and then 1 on y. Forward 2, up 1. Okay. Negative 3 times 1 plus 7 is going to be 4, so that would be over 1, forward 1, up 4, because 1 on the x is here, 4 on the y is here. Okay. Negative 3 times 0 plus 7 is 7, so I go to 0 on x is right here. Okay. 7 on y is up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Negative 3 times negative 1 is plus 7 is 10, okay? When I do that, negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm off the graph, so I just go with those 3 points, okay? Now, if you did this y-intercept, you'd have 7, then you go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. It's the same thing, okay? It gets the same, it accomplishes the same thing. Pick one of the 2 methods, whichever one you're most comfortable with at this juncture. Okay, then you got some Jabroni problems here that are easy. You just got to know the rules. Tell her the graph's a function. Remember, it can't, vertical line test, it can't go over a point more than once. Okay, or excuse me, a vertical line can't have more than 1 point. Good, 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 and good. So that one's a function. Tell whether it's a function 1. Okay, right away I know it's not because that covered 3. So non-function. Now if it's a continuous graph, you just make one vertical line. It crossed it twice, so that's 2 points. That's a non-function. Okay, identify the domain and range of the relation. Tell it's a function. So domain and range. Remember, whether it's a function or not, it's all about the domain. The range doesn't really matter. I mean, I want to see you list it, but 4, 1, 0, negative 2, 3. Do you have any repeats? No, you don't, so that's a function. And the range 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember, just because I have repeats in the range, that doesn't matter. Okay, domain and range. 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 2. Okay, you have repeats of 0, so that's a non-function. Okay, and then the range 2, negative 1, 4, negative 3, 1. Okay, and then you're writing a function from the sentence. The total weight of a tractor trailer that carries is its weight of 37,000 pounds plus the weight per car, which is 4,200 pounds. Write a function rule for the situation. Okay. Okay, so usually from a paragraph you'd start with W. So the weight, the beginning amount would be 37,000, and then plus. Sometimes it's plus, sometimes minus. Read the problem, please. Okay. The weight per car, which is 40,200 pounds, so it's 4,200 times C, because it's every car. Okay, I would say the ones to watch out for are that first one. Okay, that's how to write a function. Just draw the line, you're just using different variables. Okay, and then that one with the domain and range. Okay, remember, if it's discrete, when you divide, decimals are okay, but I don't want any of them jabroni decimals that just go on forever. Second PRB equal those.